Donnie and Dolly. The team is supported by ableauctions.ca. Closing your business? We can help.
All of our guests today, including DJ Smith, standing by, sponsored by Passant Motors. Get to Passant Motors where the spring rides are ready to roll. Right now, pay no GST or get free gas for a year. Free gas for a year. Oh! Put winter in the rearview mirror. Learn more at Passant Motors, BASANT Motors.com. It's supposed to get hot this week.
Oh,
believe it or not.
I'm getting that pressure.
You know that yellow thing in the sky? We're supposed to see it.
Pressure washer's coming out.
Oh, well, I can't wait. Okay, joined now by Ottawa Senators head coach, DJ Smith, who has joined the coaching staff for Team Canada, which is headed to the Worlds May 12th to 28th in Finland and Latvia. DJ joining us now. Thanks so much for doing this, sir. How are you?
Great. How you guys doing?
Very well, very well. What attracted you to this job at the Worlds?
You know what? I did it last year. I worked with Andre Tierney, who's a real intelligent guy. He got the head job and asked me, I think any opportunity to represent your country, you want to be playing this time of the year, and that's what's unfortunate. But this allows me to try and get better. Alex Tanguay's here, Doug Armstrong, Steve Yzerman. There's some people that I haven't worked with, and again, when you get an opportunity to represent your country, I think you should be going, and I know it's different for players, but as a coach, this is what we do.
Are you part of the recruiting process, DJ? Are you trying to convince players to go over to Europe?
No, and if they asked me to, I would. But I mean, the management does that, and we do the coaching. So clearly, I mean, if a player was on your team, you would certainly help out, or a guy you knew. But our job's to coach them when they, whatever that team is that ends up being the final team. Our job's to make sure they're ready.
As for your Ottawa Senators, DJ, you missed the playoffs by just 6 points. How would you describe the season the Senators had?
You know what? I think we did a lot of really good things. I think clearly the injury situation and especially to the goaltending, at some point we had both guys out for lengthy periods of time. Josh Norris missing 74 games. A lot of that hurt us, I think, in the standings. But in saying that, the development of a guy like Tim Stützle that got to play all those minutes, and a lot of guys had to step up their game. I thought we had a lot of guys had really good years, and I think the Ottawa Senators are a team that are going to be really good for a long time. And I think they're, this year we were close. I think going forward, this is a team that it's time to turn the corner.
DJ, did you play goal for the Senators this season? Because I think everybody else in Ottawa did. What was it, 7 goalies that you went through? What kind of effect did that have on the team?
Well, as you know, it's the most important position in hockey. And, you look at the teams that are in it every year, they've got a steady goalie that, is giving them 9-10 or better. We went through 7 guys due to injury, and we got some great starts from some guys that had never played games. But ultimately it affects the outcome. I mean, you need solid goaltending, and there's a reason why, there's certain starters in the league, and we just didn't get that due to injuries. But we had some great games. Matt Sogard's going to be a heck of a player. Young guy, got to get in a lot of important games. And, ultimately you always got to look at the positive side of things. And the positive side of things is everyone got to play a little more than probably they would have.
Hey, DJ, only 6 points out of the playoffs. So much great young talent. Do you watch the playoffs and say, you know what, we're right there. We're close. We could compete too?
Absolutely you do. But there's no excuses. You're not there, and now you've got to prove that you belong there. But 100%, especially the teams in our division, when you're watching Boston, Florida, Toronto, Tampa. We played a lot of those teams in the last 6 weeks. We beat some. We played other ones really hard. We outplayed some. So you're there. It's just it's the consistency of doing it over an 82-game schedule that makes or breaks the teams that get to play.
DJ, the officiating in the playoffs, every day you're seeing players. Foligno last night blasted them. Coaches are blasting them. What are your thoughts on the officiating in the playoffs so far?
Well, it's a tough job. And, it's easy to critique. It's easy to critique coaches. It's easier to critique refs. They're doing their best. It's unfortunate because the game is so much more important this time of year. One mistake by them, on a non-call or a call that goes the wrong way and it ends up in the net and you lose. And, the tempers are real high. People are fighting for their lives. Guys will do anything to win that Stanley Cup. So it's a tough position. I think people got to remember refs are people too. They're trying their best.
DJ, your team is going to be sold. We don't know when. There's a lot of interest. What are your thoughts about your club being sold?
Well, I think there's a lot of excitement by the players. I think, whoever the new ownership's coming into a situation where you've got a bunch of young, hungry, good hockey players that want to turn the corner. They love the city of Ottawa. They know that the new ownership's going to come in and provide them with a ton of stability and give them all the support that they can. And I think that's one heck of a team. And whoever is the owner, the boys are going to be ecstatic to play for them.
Have you met Ryan Reynolds yet?
No, I haven't. I just coach the game and I try and stay off as much social media as possible. But obviously, so many people have asked me that question. But it'll be interesting if that is the ownership group.
Now, we talked about the playoffs a moment ago. Do you watch the playoffs intently, or do you want to get away from the NHL for a bit?
No, I watch them intently. Okay. I watch, what works, what doesn't work. And what you see in the playoffs is if you can't get on the inside, it's tough to score. And, the regular season, you can get some cheap rush play and a lot of people will make more mistakes. But in the playoffs, the odd mans come way down and you need those big bodies that can get to the net, tip pucks, score ugly goals. And those are the teams that win this time of year. And I think that's where, we've got some of those players where, if eventually you can get in, we've got big bodies and guys that can score ugly. So, I think the future is really bright for Ottawa.
Yeah, led by Brady Tkachuk in that category. DJ, I've got the stats on this, but it seems like there's been more fighting in the first round of the playoffs than there has in a long, long time. Any theories on that, or is it just one of those things?
I think guys want to win so bad. I just think it's becoming harder and harder. Some of the guys, you look at Corey Perry, he's at the end of his career, whether he plays a couple more years or not, but he's doing everything in his power to win. And if that's fighting, he wasn't a fighter and he just, you look at a guy like him, he's willing to do anything out there. And I think the tempers are flaring. I think you've got big players. I think teams, that want to win are getting bigger and bigger. And when guys hit each other, they're hitting each other hard. And then the tempers get rolling and away we go with some fighting. But it does seem like the fighting is up. I think the fighting will dial down as the penalties become more and more important.
Yeah. Okay, one more, but you mentioned Tim Stützle leading your team in scoring, 90 points. In what areas of the game did he improve on this season?
I think his play off the rush, I think his ability to get to the net and score more ugly goals is the difference between scoring, the high 30s and in the 20s. When you can get on the inside, like Timmy did, I think you can score goals. But I think for me, the defensive side, his penalty killing, he played in every situation. Last minute goal needed, last minute need to keep a goal out. He's a young kid that just loves hockey. And when you love hockey, it comes easy to you.
DJ, thanks for this and all the best with the Senators and certainly all the best with Team Canada over in Europe.
All right. Thanks for having me, guys.
You bet.